Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Paul and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Ball shot.
Yo, ball game starting up, Benton. Newcastle versus Aston Villa. We're here. Go on, Benton.
Good morning. I can't just run through people in my house and I talk about yo.
Yo! Go on for the fried dumpling.
Good morning, everyone. You know, watch along season up and loaded, fully loaded. Of course, we have the man called Chiesa, the forgotten man over Liverpool in the background. So, Liverpool fans running in after yesterday's 6-goal thriller. And Junior, we're still looking for Newcastle versus Aston Villa to live up to that hype.
Well, I think this Newcastle game is the biggest game for this weekend, to be honest. And I'm not playing radio. I'm not trying to be coy or anything like that. I really do think this Newcastle game is the biggest game for the weekend, and that's why we're doing this watch along, because of the implications. And these two teams should be, as we say, Newcastle with a dangerous attack here, but these two teams should be fighting primarily for that top 5 spot, for the fifth spot, as Newcastle starting hot. Hey, I like the Newcastle green jerseys, you know.
Have to be a goal. Come on, you have to score that. It's that money just went up. Have to score that.
Who? The longer one?
Yeah, have to score that. 1-on-1 goalkeeper, have to score that.
Yeah.
Have to score that. Come on, Elanga, you have to score that. I mean, come on. Now, of course, Emi Martinez is not in goal for Aston Villa.
Suspended, right?
Yeah, he's suspended.
Yeah.
Of course, Leon Bailey not in the matchday squad discussions. Birmingham Live reporting that Leon Bailey and his party are in discussions with Roma. The discussion centered around first a loan move with an option for a permanent move. That is what Birmingham Live is reporting. Of course, Birmingham Live, local newspaper in that area. So Chippy might be doing the road for to go over Scudetto, aka Syria.
Yeah.
You know.
So
right,
both
people,
teams
like up the stream and hit the like button. Those of you up and eating breakfast and enjoying the Premier League watch along.
So we can probably say that this game is between two incomplete teams then. I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah, I think pretty much, you know, as you always mention, that transfer window, things don't really lock until the transfer window closes September 1st in regards to these teams in the Premier League. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, I don't know how many more transfers, if any, Newcastle will make in, because them can't move nobody, they can't sign people in. They had a bid, I guess, on the tail for Jacob Ramsey of Aston Villa. Of course, Jacob Ramsey, very talented player for Aston Villa, very talented midfielder. And for some reason, that deal is not completed. So we don't know if Jacob Ramsey going to go over to Newcastle. We know the saga with Alexander Isak. And you know, based on yesterday's Liverpool versus, as Aston Villa breaks away, based on yesterday's Liverpool versus Newcastle, Liverpool versus Bournemouth game, I don't know if Liverpool really need Isak. I think coming out of that football game, I think Liverpool needs a centre back more than a Isak. You know,
I think they need both. But a different set of priorities. But I think this game might be featuring a player that is playing for one team and next week could be playing for the other one. A player could be playing against his future opponents or his future teammates right now in Ali Watkins. I really do think. I think Isaac will be at Liverpool by the end of the transfer window, and I think Ali Watkins might be at Newcastle.
No, I don't see that happening. I don't see Ali Watkins moving
He is
from Villa.
unsettled.
Well, unsettled all he wants, but I think Aston Villa covered kind of here regarding the forward role. I mean,
I don't think Ali Watkins scared. Unai Emery wanted to get rid of him.
in fact, well, Ali Watkins might outlive Unai Emery at Aston Villa. You know, Ali Watkins is Ali Watkins to me and Tyrone Mings are Aston Villa, just like Jack Grealish is Aston Villa. Them man they are Aston Villa DNA, long and short of it. So I don't see Ali Watkins going anywhere this window. Probably that's it. But again, I could be totally wrong regarding that one, as we see a free kick for Newcastle in the midfield. I think for Aston Villa, they have to get this Leon Bailey situation resolved. If it's a loan move, get him off the books, or a percentage of the salary off the books, and then see if them can use that money to then probably try to bring in some other players because or another player that can supplement on that right wing.
Yeah.
They're heavily dependent on Morgan Rogers, and Morgan Rogers is a good, is a very good midfielder, but you can't really Morgan Rogers. Was it John? What's the other the
McGinn.
captain? McGinn, yeah, McGinn. McGinn is getting kind of old. I mean, you want to shore up that midfield to some extent, I think, with Aston Villa. And then if Jacob Ramsey does move on, you know,
Try a true ball there. That should have been a better pass. And the game is in the first 8 minutes, 8 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. And we, something I've noticed, I think football is evolving. And I looked at the Liverpool game yesterday. You couldn't separate both teams in the first 10 minutes. And it's the same thing happening here, where both teams are just running at each other, gunning, and trying to force each other to make a mistake. And it seems like this is the new English Premier League football. And I think that's part of, and I should have said new, because it's been like that for a while. But I'm seeing it becoming more evident now that, and I'm gonna watch other games later and see if my hypothesis is right, because I was shocked to see how Bournemouth approached Liverpool yesterday. In the first 10 minutes of the game, there wasn't any respect. Oh, Liverpool! This is the big bad Liverpool. This is at Anfield. No, they went out there and said, "You're an athlete. I'm an athlete. Let's see who can stay focused." And when the game settled down, that's where we saw kind of like the quality of Liverpool separate themselves. And I expect the same thing here. But this game, I think, going to be a 90-minute game. I think both teams are fairly even in quality.
You know, and some people might say this are foolishness matchup, but I'm not surprised by Bournemouth's competitiveness yesterday. I really rate Bournemouth. I rate Ariola, the head coach of Bournemouth. They excelled last year in the Premier League. Antoine Semenyo is a baller and an
Yeah.
absolute baller. Scored 2 goals yesterday. And the midfield of Bournemouth they are workaholics. So I'm not surprised. I think what I saw from Bournemouth yesterday, and it's something that's akin to last year, if they have a finished article up front, if Evan Nielsen or Tanner Veer can convert those chances, they would have been high up the table last year, and I saw some of the similar things yesterday. Evan Nielsen, big money transferred, brought in last year, should have scored a couple goals, at least one goal yesterday. And Tavernier should have scored also another goal. So, in fact, Liverpool probably escape, and that is probably just putting it a little bit extreme because Bournemouth left a few chances on the park yesterday. They are very fast team going in on the counter, and this is just part and parcel of Ariola's football. And it was a very good opening day match.
Yeah.
Very good opening match.
And this game, I'm kind of sensing right now that Newcastle is up for this game, and Aston Villa is still trying to figure out what they are facing.
So the true pass that you mentioned a while ago, that should have been a better true pass. It came from Morgan Rogers, and that is the question around Morgan Rogers. I mean, a player who, if I'm not mistaken, came to Man City's academy, did some other stints, some other clubs or other places, but he has settled at Aston Villa and did quite well for them last year. A player who likes to drive at the heart of the defense from midfield. The problem is that with Morgan Rogers is that sometimes you can have these like, bruh, it's a simple pass, calm down and just push the ball through. And he had an opportunity a few minutes ago to kind of just relax, push the ball through to Ollie Watkins or your attackers. And that is where you kind of, Aston Villa, you need your big players to maintain that consistency in the attacking third. And jury out on Morgan Rogers in some regard on that aspect.
Boy, Ilanga is having a nightmare first 12 minutes. Two difficult chances. The first one was a lot easier than this one, but he should have done better on that one. You soon see it. I think you have a little delay. But you soon see it.
You don't want to say nothing. That is like a Bush League baller shot. Because of that ball. Okay, not Bush. For non-Jamaican listeners, big up to all the non-Jamaican subscribers. But that is bad. Regine, a primary school shot that he man at balls coming over on a volley. And the shot looked like it would have ended up fair through if a next man never blocked it.
Yeah, that he should have done better with that. But looking at the game, because I still think Aston Villa is showing that they have some cojones going forward, but they look like they still try to get into the game. Do you think Newcastle is going to rule not scoring early?
I think I saw ultimately football is not forgiving. We saw yesterday with Bournemouth where they missed few chances earlier on, and ultimately Liverpool took the lead 2-0. They came back and then tied it up. And it's ultimately at the end of the game, this is a simple it's a football. It's a process where you need to convert your chances. And you're gonna rule those missed chances. The quicker you score your goals or convert at least one of those opportunities, the easier it gets going forward, because then you force the opponent to then have to do something different, have to come out and expose themselves a little bit more, and you get more room for your attacks going forward. Now, when you start miss these chances, and some of these are not easy chances, but at least you have to test the goalkeeper. Again, Emi Martinez is not in goal. The big bad Argentina, the number one for Aston Villa. He's not in goal, so it's a backup. Test him. Come on, man. So, but and the noticeable thing to Ilanga is going against Lucas Digne, who, pound for pound is vulnerable defensively, gives you something going forward. So we have to see how this affects, if it does affect Ilanga's confidence throughout the football game, because the scuff miss and the breakaway, some players it affects them, and some player it doesn't. So we have to see how some players it doesn't. So interesting to see how Ilanga goes about it from here.
Yeah. Well, a dangerous free kick here for Newcastle. Put it in the box, back post, headed back, the dangerous back, and then Gardner gives a good shot. Push to the side for a corner kick. God is getting in some dangerous positions too. He's had couple half chances that he should have done good with, but it's a good looking shot through all the trash, and goalkeeper went down well to the right and pushed it off for a corner. Corner to Newcastle. Aston Villa is not settled. Newcastle need to score. They should have scored already.
And so and one of the things that I want to highlight, there's been a lot of discussions in the window about Isaac and how disgruntled are just, maybe disgruntled is not the right word. How he wants to move on, and the issues with, Newcastle relinquishing or allow him to leave out of his contract. But Newcastle is not a bad football team. Midfield is quite stout. You have Guimaraes, Tonali, and others in that midfield. In the back, they're very Dan Burn and others. So Isaac is a very good player, but if you can somehow find the vision of labor in terms of those goals up top, you will have people in the core of that midfield who will supply those attackers going forward. So it's gonna be supplementing our by committee if and when Isaac does leave. So
You make it sound simple, and I get the point, but that is the ultimate best case scenario. From what we have seen so far in this game, Isaac is playing that scored already, and that in itself is not no supplemental by the committee or anything like that. That is the influence or that is what he brings. I think Newcastle, after I think if Isaac is playing and Newcastle, the game start the way it has, they have already scored. So that's a huge loss. And I think we are starting to see the start of the end of Eddie Howe at Newcastle. And if I was Newcastle ownership, and I like Eddie Howe, but if I was Newcastle brass, I would say to the board, like, look, there's a reason why we cannot attract players. We have money, we have the stadium, we have the facilities. It's obvious the coach is not attractive enough to these players, and it is so bad that even our best player want to leave at a time when we are close to our peak.
no, I wouldn't get rid of Eddie Howe. I think he's the only stable voice in this organization at the moment. They are in a situation where they don't have a director of football in position. So Eddie Howe is contributing to a lot of these decisions. I mean, the midfield of Newcastle is still outstanding. Sandro Tonali, and Bruno Guimaraes, and yeah, Joe Linton has done quite well in the midfield. Eddie Howe, change him into a midfielder. The back is also quite solid. Livermento, Dan Burn, Schaefer, and Kieran Trippier is serviceable. So the thing is that they just have to go out and find someone who can at least have some level of decency up top. And it's not hard to find. Well, it's not easy to find. It's very hard finding goal scorers. Is something. But go to the championship. Go down to the championship. There's somebody there who can be serviceable. I think the loss of Colin Wilson is also quite huge. There's a lot of discussion about Alexander Isak, but Colin Wilson was serviceable, and pound for pound was Newcastle for years before Isak came on, and he will give you something, but he's gone, getting up there in age. So I wouldn't get rid of Eddie Howe. I want to keep some level of stability in this football club now.
I don't mean right now. But
Yeah.
I think by the end of the season, I think Newcastle is going to peak early, and they're going to fall off. I think both teams. I really do. I think last year the race was a lot tighter. This year you have a top four race, and then whoever comes fifth, I think is going to be comfortable. I really
You
do
know,
think so.
I look at the other side of this. Another team here, the other team in Aston Villa. I am a bit more concerned about Aston Villa than I am about Newcastle and the reason why I'm saying that Newcastle is missing their linchpin striker, and we don't know how that situation. We've talked about that, but for Aston Villa, I mean, this is pound for pound Aston Villa as we know it. I mean, they've let go players, young aspiring striker in John Duran, but you have John McGinn and Ali Watkins, and they're all on the field, but the best chances fell to Newcastle, who many would thought has had the worst transfer window any team can have so far.
Yeah.
And so Eddie Howe is a testament to Eddie Howe that this team came out fully loaded and going at Aston Villa, which is a far more settled club based on the transfer window that they have had. And I mean, in the sense that there hasn't been any sort of noise. There's no thing about no player, no publicly I make no sort of noise, but them want get away. We can talk about Ali Watkins all we want, but
you 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 you, you cannot overlook Ali Watkins and not call the similarities between Watkins and Isaac.
no, it's totally different to me because at the end of the day, Ali Watkins is starting.
Yeah, because of a different approach to their transfer saga, but they are still both transfer sagas. And Leon Bailey, as inconsistent as he has been, it would have been nice for Unai Emery to have a Leon Bailey at his disposal in this game at some point, and he's not going to be there. So they too are unsettled. I see a point, but the thing that I would say about Newcastle with the Isaac saga is you don't see anything or hear anything coming from within. There really hasn't been any murmurs from Newcastle. It has all been on Isaac's side. And sometimes these things galvanize a team as well. No,
Well, I mean, Eddie Howe have spoken about it. He's asked about it at press conference, and he responding for they had a cookout the other day where everybody, and I was reading the Birmingham Live, and some of the players discussed it. Anthony Gordon even said publicly that he understands Isaac's situation. He understands the shoes that Isaac in. So players have not shied away from talking about it. The coach have talked about it. He said personally he just wants this thing to get resolved as quickly as possible for all involved. Whereas for me, Aston Villa is just Leon Bailey situation, for example, that you mentioned. Leon Bailey clearly is out is looking for a move. There hasn't been any injury issues. Unai Emery, he's not in the match day squad. Boom, move on. Isaac is training by himself. Both players are on the way out of these two clubs
right.
potentially, and one club is saying like, look, in a group, train by yourself. Of course, Isaac has been at least Isaac's camp has been very more aggressive about their move to our understanding, whereas Leon Bailey camp hasn't been very aggressive about their move to my understanding, based on what is said in the space. But the approach is that Leon Bailey is nowhere near the group because Unai Emery has said, this is my squad, you're not involved in the plan. Whereas Isaac may be hopeful that some says, okay, Isaac might return one day.
Who's hopeful that they might say Isaac might return one day?
No, so the situation with Isaac is this. After Newcastle say that, boom, here's the price. Is either you play the price or not. So if the price doesn't get paid, what will happen? And he doesn't move in this transfer window. What does happen? September 30th looks like. This is too expensive a player for you just to have sitting down, not playing. Yeah. He's a significant part of their wage payout. So if he doesn't move and he's healthy, so what? You just gonna wait till January and just sit down and play a ball?
Of course, I would, yes.
Wow.
If you don't want to be here, you don't play. and that I'm not going to sacrifice my team for your value or because of your value. And I think that's kind of where another thing that affects football today is because of the communication and the information that's out there, we start to see the dollars and cents in some of these negotiations. I would kind of forget about the actual value of playing football. As Anthony Gordon has shot and it's deflected. The game is now starting. We're at 26 minutes. The game is now starting to settle down now. This is what I'm talking about, how both teams now kind of like they got their first win. Now them settling down. Newcastle is very high. Very, very high.
And look what led up to that Anthony Gordon shot. Easy break, this disruption in midfield by Grimaresh. Him just come around and take the ball off the Aston Villa player. I think it's John McGinn, and just kind of push it forward and keep the ball moving. So, Newcastle midfield, the only thing is that, of course, they probably need some depth. But I like this Newcastle midfield a lot.
Yeah. I you remember how in the past Aston Villa, they were known for the high line, right? In the past,
Yeah.
but look at them now.
Yeah, they have to kind of ease off a little bit. I mean, hopefully by then Unai Emery has learned. We know the famous collapse at Old Trafford in that game when they were leading and comfortable should have secured that football game, and then still doing trippiness and and so it's almost to a sense Aston Villa has achieved and Unai Emery has achieved and lost a lot with this club. We saw the impressive run in the Champions League last year. Were eliminated by PSG, the eventual winners. But even with those achievements, and then performing well in the Premier League, even with those achievements, Aston Villa enters the Premier League this year still with a bag of questions. It's like,
Yeah.
how can we get better? Is this as good as it gets for Aston Villa, and Unai Emery?
And
How
it's
do you-
yeah. And it's self-made problems because
It's just
the Unai Emery as Newcastle Ilanga is having a terrible game. I can't say it any better. This is a terrible debut. And you know
yeah, this
watch Ilanga
is
score
Ilanga
later.
level at all.
But watch Ilanga score. Watch Ilanga eventually score.
And if he does score, credit to him. But how many chances do you need? How many opportunities this now gonna absolve? At least to me, it's not gonna eliminate all the mediocrity that you have done.
Yes it would. Yes. Yeah.
To me, no, this is why we in fact, what's the transfer fee for this Elanga move from Forest? How much did the Newcastle pay for?
I want to say it was 55 or 60 because I remember comparing.
55 at 60?
I want to say that was it. Yes, longer transfer.
Wow.
Yeah, 55 million.
Wow. So you're $55 million, £55 million baller.
Yeah.
Chacha. I'm a 10 million pound baller, this brother.
Yeah, it's 52 with 3 million add-ons.
I think Forest scammed them for the one.
No, we'll see. I mean, it's still early days. 30 minutes gone, still 0-0. I can tell the Aston Villa fans are nervous. And that can
£2 million for Elanga though.
I think that's market value. I think Ilanga is worth that. He's just having a terrible start. And here's Aston Villa with that dumb play out the back start. Boy, I can't wait till them give up a goal. by that. I hate to see. Look at where Newcastle win the ball. Look how high they won the ball now, and they did nothing with it. And
Transition from the high line to now playing out the back.
here's
More
Ali
risky pass.
Watkins. Here's Ali Watkins breaking away to the 18-yard box. Put back and nobody there. Nobody there for Ali Watkins. And Unai Emery's clap. Irony of ironies. Unai Emery's clapping Ali Watkins. The same Ali Watkins he doesn't like.
Morgan Rogers supposed to be in that era I mean, this is where Morgan Rogers is supposed to be able to try to get. And again, John McGinn, Morgan Rogers, Yuri Tillemans in that midfield.
I just find Unai Emery funny. This is the same Ali Watkins that you benched in favor of Marcus Rashford, a lone player that you did not intend to bring back this year in both PSG games when you could have used them. Why?
Big up to the family watching online early morning Premier League football. Big up everyone. The Newcastle needs help and desperately needs help in this transfer window to move.
Yeah.
Make sure to smash the like button to kind of.
And big up to Michelle.
Achievements.
And Michelle is saying Ilanga is nowhere near as good as Isaac. Well, that goes without saying. 1,000,000%, Michelle. Nowhere near as good.
I still can't wrap my head around 52 million pounds for Ilanga. No, that does not make any sense.
But hear this though. Here
is my reasoning for this.
Yeah.
Ilanga excel at Nottingham Forest, essentially in open space. Ilanga is a baller if you play a ball behind a defense, he can run and attack. It's not a player that going to create off the dribble and beat people repeatedly and supply attackers. On the other side of that and Forest success was the youth Callum Hudson-Odoi, who beating people off the dribble, cut in and score goals for Forest. I don't understand this 52 million pound value for Ilanga.
But and there's Ilanga showing that he can cut in and create for somebody else.
Yeah.
But him create a breakaway for Aston Villa. But I mean, I don't know what the going the market rate is. I don't know. And this is Premier League to Premier League. You're not going to get a discounted price for Premier League to Premier League player. That just doesn't happen.
I mean,
Aston Villa still try. Aston Villa is still in out of sorts to me. Newcastle should win this game easily. And here's Ilanga getting by dinner and getting chopped down.
And one of the important things that we talk about at the front end is that Digne is vulnerable defensively. This is why Everton run him well, because of his defensive worries. I think was it Sean Dyche was at Everton at the time who decided to move on from him. I think it was Sean, but he's also struggled to keep down a place in this Aston Villa team. I think Moreno, they brought in Alex Moreno as a left back start. I don't know if Moreno is injured for this Aston Villa team. So, but then you also have Aston Villa have so many questions, because then you have the other nut job on the right back, Cash, who they probably need to get rid of.
Yeah.
Matty Cash.
All created by Unai Emery. These are all self-made problems.
You have, but they're missing Pau Torres. I do like Kamara in that midfield, and Pau Torres is on the bench for Aston Villa. I do like Kamara in that midfield. Service. He probably young player still growing into the role. Should be experienced though, I guess, because he's and I know last year he had a major injury and returned from that major injury. So I'm interested to see how Kamara goes about it. But Joe Linton, Guimaraes, and Tonali in that midfield field for Newcastle, pit bulls, so to speak. Three hard-working individuals who don't have any problem chopping down like wood and the opponent. Very physical.
Yep. Looking at other
Still
scores.
0-0.
Yeah, still 0-0, 36 minutes gone. Ball chat, watch along. It's a watch along season, people. And what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do. Every weekend we're gonna have at least one watch along. We call it the game of the weekend, the best game of the week. We'll just do a watch along with it. Okay, if I was the
I need to pick up, brother. It's boring, early morning.
Nah, it's not boring. This is a great.
How many cups of coffee do I need to drink to make it good?
I love the as Ilanga beat Dinya again, going down, beat one, beat two, cutting on 80-yard box and taking off.
Very good player. Very good player, Elanga. Let's
But
see if
no finished product. Listen. This game is equivalent to a Liverpool versus Manchester City in terms of importance, in terms of how close they are, and that's why the game is playing the way it is. I love this is the type of football game I love.
I would hope when Liverpool plays Man City, both teams will be creating chances. As it stands, I haven't really seen much from Aston Villa in the attacking third.
Yeah,
Newcastle should be ahead.
yeah.
But them have the wrong chef to cook the soup. I wrong soup.
No, they need a spoon.
Wrong soup. Them have.
No, they need a spoon for stir the pot.
They probably should get Anthony Gordon a little bit more involved. Get him involved because he's definitely a player who will score goals.
I think he's played as a striker,
Yeah, but sometimes he drifts out left. He's looking to pick up the ball left.
Yeah, but if he goes left, there's nobody in the middle. They have no recognizable striker right now. None. Zero. Zilch.
And that's the thing. I mean, sometimes you want to be fluid with the attacking third, with the three up top. Harvey Barnes. What with the yeah. Magpies looking. They could use an Alan Shearer type of baller right now.
They can use the Alexander Isak type of player baller right now.
Yeah, but Alan Shearer type of baller wants to be there. Alexander Isak type of baller don't want to be there. So they want a goal scorer who wants to be there. Alan Shearer type of baller. Isak sit down right now and drink a cup of coffee or drink a cup of tea. And I say, yo, man, I'm not dealing with my thing, brother. I think yesterday I said to you after watching a Liverpool game, or I said to the group, say, Isak can put on him shirt and go back to work. Because when I watch a Liverpool game, I'm not convinced that Liverpool needs Isak. They want Isak, but they don't. I'm not convinced they need him. Eketeke is whoa, 2 games I've watched with him. Impressed. I know what. Impressed. His connection, his link-up player. There's one thing about scoring goals is fine. But when you are going on the middle and be able to those deft layoffs to the people around you, and we saw it in the Community Shield, those skills are absolutely hard to measure.
Yeah.
Hard to measure.
Yeah.
The link-up player, ooh.
I mean,
Because
from
then that lets the centre back know that, yo, I can't play you too tight. Because if I tight up on you, and you later, boom, next man gone.
and he's hard to keep track of. Though, it's one thing about the Liverpool strikers yesterday. They're hard to keep. You can't imagine you being a centre back and you're told to make sure you know where it. I'll say etiquette is. He's a danger man. Make sure you know where he is. And sometimes he's on the left wing, sometimes he's playing in the midfield, sometimes he's right up there beside you as a striker. And he's showing his flexibility. But also sometimes he looked like a deer with the ball at his feet sometimes.
I,
Sometimes.
I, I was absolutely. I don't see anything wrong with Eteke's game in the 2 games that I've watched him play. I think it's, yo, money well spent.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
The hype about Florian Wirtz, I wasn't impressed. The 2 games I've seen him, people we can wax lyrically about how him come deep. And yes, you're a creative player. That's what you're supposed to do. Yesterday, watching that football game, I thought Eketeke impacted Liverpool's attack going forward more than Florian Wirtz. And I thought, well, I've been told by so many people that I'm supposed to be watching Florian Wirtz and how I'm going to unlock defense and all. I didn't saw that yesterday. Now, it's early days and he will grow in, hopefully for Liverpool people. But when I watched Florian Wirtz at Bayer Leverkusen, I didn't. I mean, it's just a regular baller to me. It's just a
Well,
regular baller to me.
well,
And
we appreciate midfielders differently, then I guess, because to me,
a regular.
Newcastle with another corner. 2 minutes ago till the half time.
Because I'm watching this game and say, I'm like, how this midfielder can't even find space to come get the ball. And when him get the ball, what him do with it? Slide was more impressive yesterday to me than Wirtz. So it's Slide could have scored. Slide was always pulling the people out of position and laying the ball off behind. No, I'm not into this Florian Wirtz hype. Looking forward to see him convince me that he's a real general. The cheat code, as me or some people say. And yes, we give him time. I was listening to talk to a couple Liverpool fans last night, and one of them I said, "Boy, yeah, one out of England." I said, "Yeah, we have to go give some time to this youth." But I hope the same grace is afforded to others. Like when if Eteke did start bad, I hope so, boy, we have to give him some time.
I mean, hey, look, we appreciate midfielders differently because to me, what Verts brings is he takes the attention away from everybody in the midfield. And
Yo,
what a
yo,
kick down?
it's like the people ever reach up your point to
No,
support the
no,
hype of the baller. You
no, no,
take
no, no,
attention from the people.
no. Let me land the plane.
Land the plane.
McAllister and Szoboszlai yesterday were passengers in the midfield, especially McAllister. There was even that top moment when I said to myself, "Why is McAllister wearing number 10 for Liverpool?" And look, we'll agree if we disagree now, because to me, I like what Verts bring to Liverpool, and I won't even I won't even compare him to any midfielder right now in terms of, because I could get really, as we reach halftime 0-0, Newcastle going in thinking that they should have really been up by now. Aston Villa can't count their blessings, and Unai Emery have a chance to recoup. But for me, what Verts bring is he was the flow of the game to me yesterday. I feel so. I really think he was the dynamo for Liverpool yesterday. And there are times when he floats in and out of possession of the game, and in and out of position in the game, and that's what I appreciate from a midfielder. I really do. And he presents himself for the ball all the time, gets the ball, and I don't see him having a lot of stupid turnovers. So, look, maybe for what they paid for him, if that's all they're getting, then maybe it's not a good return on investment. Maybe. But I'm only talking about the output of the player. And I like what I saw from him. I really do like what I see from him.
Yo, people that might put this ball and know them have try validate the thing.
No, I don't care. I couldn't care less.
If I am wrong, I'll come back and say it. My regards for high midfielders are midfielders who I get hype. General ballers as midfielders should be able to identify themselves in a forest. One of the greatest attributes you can hear about a midfielder is like you're in a forest and you can find your way. This idea of this brother finding space and then floating outside, okay, fine. But when you're in that crowded era, can you pick up this ball and still find the people out there?
And he did that yesterday. He did that.
No, I didn't see anything like that for me. The general for me in midfield, do that. Because midfield is unforgiving. One of the greatest midfielders, well, we're not talking about another great midfielder. We're just talking about Fabian Wirtz. And he might live up to this hype. And we will say it's a long season. But I'm going to pass judgment on him yet. I will table that till the end of the season and then look at it. But 2 games I've seen, the Community Shield and the first game, and I thought, and I've watched him a lot at Leverkusen also, so we'll see. I will say this: Florian Wirtz is giving me a Kai Havertz type of vibes, and I'll leave it at that till we see it. Hype up ballers, and then when the real Gideon start, deliver the thing.
Well, all right. So and I see it. I agree. I get no. I don't agree. I get what you're saying. And Michelle was asking what's our assessment of the Liverpool game yesterday, and she also said words need to get used to the intensity of EPL. She thinks, and I think that last point from Michelle coincides with your point, Benton, about basically saying the hype that is behind him, you're not seeing the return on the hype, which fair enough. I would say fair enough to that statement. And I would also say, cool, he now will have to eventually figure out a way to kind of justify the price tag, right? Cool. Now, 110 million or whatever it was, 120 or whatever it was, how much of a baller, how much of it was paid? There is no one size fit all per transfer salary or per transfer value. So not because you're 120 million, you should play like player X. What you should do is that make sure what you do on the field, you do it well. We should not be seeing you as the highest paid one player in the midfield and somebody around you that is less paid is doing what you do better, right? And maybe we have to wait and see what Wirtz bring to the table officially. Maybe that will help his value appreciation, maybe. But I don't think I don't expect Florian Wirtz to come out there and look like Pirlo. I don't expect him to come out there and look like David Silva. I expect him to come out there and be the transition player. Be the player that has shown the ability, like you said, to get the ball in a forest, around a forest of players, and able to find your way out of it consistently. Has he shown that? I think he has shown some glimpses of it. Maybe we need to see more data set for you to appreciate it. As Michelle confirmed, the 116 million. Maybe that's what we need to see. But what Michelle said about adjusting to the speed, if Florian Wirtz, and this is where I'm going to maybe agree with all what you guys are saying, if Wirtz is worth 116 million pounds, he would not have to adjust to Premier League speed. Premier League will have to adjust to Florian Wirtz. And that is where I think my point will be made or my point will be lost. Because if he is able to now transform the midfield, then he'll be worth the money. And we'll see. We'll see how that ends up.
I mean, if I am a director of a football club, if I pay $160 million, I say $160 million pounds, whatever it is, whatever currency rate is, for a specific player, these are impact players. These are high impact, players, especially in this current market. So when I make my standard for that level of transfer investment, young player for years to make impact, especially when against the other big boys, against the rival competitive teams. And time will tell. Like I said, I watch him a lot at Leverkusen. And I thought, okay, he's a good player. He definitely can float out wide. Definitely have the ability to create. And at Leverkusen, he was given a bit of flexibility in Xabi Alonso's system. Is either you pick up, if you see somebody, you then create for them. If you're not, then you drive at the defense and then pull off something. This is a different animal. You have Mohamed Salah out wide. You have Eteke out down the middle. You have Gapco on the left. It's a lot of players who need the ball. And players who need the ball. And as in that 10 role, you have to quickly get those players the ball. So time will tell. The youth has potential. I don't want no Liverpool like when the and maybe this is why I am probably kind of sounding a little bit lukewarm so far, because Liverpool fan link me and talk about man a cheat code my BBC early now.
I would have said cheat code.
It's too early. Cheat code, me not it. I know so them just probably call me, come bother me about cheat code, but this was when the transfer was made. So let's see how the player goes about it. Let's see how it goes about it.
And the reason why that won't be fair, this is the biggest reason why that won't be fair. Liverpool didn't need a cheat code. So right off the bat, Wirtz is starting 10 yards back in the race to prove that he's worth whatever the value is. He wasn't. Liverpool wasn't lacking a world-class midfielder. So you're not going to see the immediate return. You're not. You're not. And like what Michelle asked him about what's my takeaway. My takeaway from the game yesterday, I said it, and I said it during the preview show, and I thought it was a great comment. I thought it was the world's best comment. I even went to bed that night sleeping like, yo, that was some ESPN type stuff. Then I watch a Liverpool game, and I'm like, maybe it wasn't world class stuff. Mohamed Salah didn't look himself yesterday. He didn't look himself in the Community Shield. And I think the reason why is because Liverpool's squad has gotten better. It even got to the point where the commentator in the game said, I think it was Lee Dixon said, this is the thing with Salah. Sometimes he does some stuff where he's either great or he leaves you scratching your head. And this is the first time in about 5 years somebody made a public comment like that about Salah, which is not inaccurate, But because Salah was so dependent on, he was so dependent. People were so dependent on him over the last 3, 4, 5 years at Liverpool. He didn't get the opportunity to fail. Now that Liverpool is a much better squad, Salah's inconsistency, because nobody is perfect, Salah's inconsistency started to show, which is telling to me. Because there were times where Frimpong was bombing down the wing, bombing, and Salah did the same. There were times when Salah gave it the ball, it was too late. These were things you never had to worry about with Salah because guess what? Trent would have never been down there. But now that the team got a little bit better, you get to see some little things. And I think that's my takeaway is that kind of coupled with what you said, Benton, about Liverpool not needing Isaac. If you are to put Isaac now in that Liverpool team, I guarantee the next day we'll complain about Cody Gakpo. Because Gakpo did not look good at times yesterday. So we might be on the verge of seeing a team that has a fat cat syndrome. And go ahead, Liverpool fans. When we come out as a junior, I hate Podano. But what I saw yesterday is I saw a team that Newcastle is going to give trouble. The Newcastle we're playing right now is going to give Liverpool trouble because of the speed that they have on attack. And Liverpool is susceptible down the wings and with that speed. Go ahead and come at me, Liverpool fans. I don't care. There are a lot of question marks around that team.
As for the Mohamed Salah comment, Mohamed Salah did not play any ball yesterday.
Yeah.
Did not play any ball. He hasn't played any ball in a few games. But Liverpool was also missing in the Community Shield. But one thing that you can rely on with Mohamed Salah, and he showed that yesterday, if an opportunity presents himself, he will score goals. But this is why you play the football game. You play the football game. It doesn't matter how many X's and O's you want to draw. It's essentially who score more goals win the ball game. Not essentially, this is the way it works. And the fact that he gives you that offensive threat makes it so fascinating and good for Liverpool. Now, the thing is that I always said I felt last year. I think that Federico Chiesa should have gotten more minutes. It's surprising to me that there was discussion about moving him out when he wasn't given a shot. The fact that he came on yesterday and scored was instrumental and important. So now Slot has to make these decisions. There were times last year where Salah not playing on ball and them kept him on the field. And now they will have to be able to say, okay, Salah, come hold a seat. We did remember that situation where Klopp had Salah on the bench and he was supposed to be subbing against West Ham and Salah going like he never want to give him a dap. So Salah has his ways and has some sort of things about him. And, he's a legend at Liverpool, but he needs to play some ball, regardless. Need to play some ball. Yesterday it was a passenger. I think Trent would have still provided the overlap as Frimpong does. But the thing is that Salah will cut in on that left foot and will score a couple goals. And, let's see. He's 33 years old this year. Let's see if the age start catching up to him. But scored a goal, just an add-on goal, which probably was meaningless at the end of the day. But the fact for his confidence, well, that will probably play a big role in it. But it's one to watch for me, how he goes about it. When he's not playing well, those slots come rubber band, because then that affects the group. Because at the end of the day, Federico Chiesa and the other man, them I say, Regin, come on. Why me can't play no ball and this man I play ball? And he's not playing well. And
that right there says the key. That statement you make is so pivotal to me because that's the point I was making about being afforded the opportunity or not afforded the opportunity to fail over the last couple of years because he was so dependent on. Salah is the first name on the team sheet, and if Liverpool need a goal, we need Salah for score, right? As the team get better, the dependency goes down. And as the dependency goes down, the hook gets quicker. And as the hook get quicker, Salah's ability to the time that is afforded to him to drift in and out of games get taken away. And he was going to see the bench more this year. I can tell you that right now. And especially if they get Isaac, he is going to see the bench more this year. He is going to have a quicker hook. They're not going to sit there and wait as long as they would have before. And I don't think it's an age thing. And I know you're not saying Salah getting old, but that's the other thing that pissed me. He's not getting old. That pisses me off because 33, he's not 36, he's 33, and the man, by all reports, keep him
benchmark.
Because the closer you get to 40 is the benchmark, and especially if you're a well-tuned athlete.
I mean, this is, to me, with the age thing is on the individual level, and it could be attributed to something else. You know, maybe I'm making an excuse. I mean, I know he takes very, very good care of himself. He's a guy who eats well and work out immensely. But at the end of the day, you have to outrun but so many people.
But then your game changed.
You have a 19-year-old, especially as a winger, you have a little 19-year-old want to kick you down. And I mean, at some point, he's going to get up to you. And he's not a big guy by any stretch of the imagination. He's not Cristiano Ronaldo body type.
But we've seen him get stronger, though. We've seen Salah become more physical. And we've seen Salah ease up as the second half start, and Aston Villa is now on the front foot with a corner kick. We've seen them get stronger.
Yeah, he has definitely. I mean, he's spoken. I've watched a few interviews with him, and he's spoken. Yo, score the BBC goal, huh? Okay. Too early in the morning. By the way, big up to all the people up and about and exercising.
Yeah, but big up to Max. Look out for On the Field, Off the Field. A new Off the Field episode coming out Monday at 5 p.m. So watch out for that episode. Max and more forward tomorrow, so. If they want forward to talk English ball.
English ball tomorrow.
Yeah, a ball chat.
Manchester United. We can't have too many Manchester United fans because we're a football show.
He's not a Man U fan. His son is a Man U fan.
We don't want that. Oh gosh, Max, why would you put the man as a Man U fan? Jaja. Imagine a youth, a 16-year-old youth, 16 years old son is a Manchester United fan. How is that possible? Because Manchester United has been piss poor.
Well, you see, you have some people out there that only become fans of teams because they are winners, while you have some people out there that become fans of teams because of the culture. You obviously are a winner rundown guy, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We don't run with losers around here.
And that's cool. And that's how we identify. That's how we identify ourselves.
A Man United fan.
How did I become a Man United fan?
Yeah.
Funny enough, I started as a Liverpool fan with John Barnes. And then I became a Manchester United fan through Dwight York and Andy Cole.
During the winning years?
Winning wasn't the reason why I was a Manchester United fan. I was a Manchester United fan. I would say Emi Martinez. Oh, am I weird? A blanket? How would it?
I mean, the man's slung with him family. I watch a ball game. I mean,
But-
just have a thing wrap around him.
But you see me? Alright. I was a Liverpool and Tottenham fan. But you want me a little bit. And the reason why...
Alright.
Let me finish. The reason why John Barnes, for me, it was football Sunday. JBC, football Sunday. And if you remember, when we watch JBC football on Sundays, they only showed mostly Liverpool games and Tottenham games. So
I didn't have JBC, boss.
everybody had JBC. Come on.
We have what Dan Burn look like him pick up a knock here, Junior.
Somebody punch him on them short ribs. But me never,
And then
teams like Nottingham Forest, me never know some of them teams that exist for me a little bit. All I knew about was Sheffield Wednesday, because I used to show a lot of Sheffield Wednesday game too.
Charlotte Wimbledon.
Wimbledon too. A lot of Wimbledon games as well. I agree. So but then I like Gary Lineker. So we watch and Gary Lineker, Gascoigne, that was Tottenham. And then you had Liverpool, John Barnes. Everybody at Jamaica was Liverpool fan. And then we used to go watch the Shell Cup. And when we go watch the Shell Cup, it was always Trinidad versus Jamaica always in the final. And them time you have a young Walter Boyd and you have a young Dwight York. And I remember the report come out, the scouts were coming and they're watching both York and Boyd and as young footballers and Roderick Reed, but it was York and Boyd. And I remember seeing Dwight York and I was so mesmerized by Dwight York and what he was doing on the field. And I think he was like 17. He was a young boy at the time, very young. And then I followed his career. And then when I hear Dwight York at Manchester United, and we hear about this Fergie guy, so watch his team. And when we start follow Fergie, and I said, wow, okay, all right. And only way we could follow was through, like, with the newspaper. Could never watch the games then. So that's how I became a Manchester United fan. It had nothing to do with winning.
Oh, okay. But were they winning at the time, though?
Yeah.
When
Yeah. But remember, it's not like now where we could watch a whole league.
Yeah. We all listen newspaper, read the newspaper, and you know, and it was commentary per audio if you could get access to it.
Yeah.
You know, but it was more newspaper Saturday. I mean, a lot of the Shell Cup games were just radio commentary for me. You know.
Yeah. Michelle asking, are we concerned about, is there any concern on Liverpool's defense? A lot.
Yeah, Michelle, you never watched the preview show because I said that Liverpool needs a defender. Them needs a centre back. In fact, this is why I didn't pick Liverpool to win.
Yeah, there's a lot of concerns around that Liverpool
They did
defense.
sign Giovanni.
Leone, but he's a project.
Leone.
That's a project.
No, I will say this, and I've heard the project statement a lot. Giovanni Leone did play some ball last year. They have Jarrell Kwanzaa, who they decided to move on from. So that tells me, and Jarrell Kwanzaa did play last year in the slot system. You know, of course, they had to use him. So that tells me that Leone, they feel comfortable enough, based on what they saw, to be able to know that they can actually utilize him because they did utilize Kwanzaa last year. So project is one thing, but I expect him to come and offer some level of support when needed because last year, Konate got injured, you know, they roll out Kwanzaa. So same thing I expect this year if they don't move on, if they don't get a Guehi or some other centre back.
And yeah, Guehi. So we have Guehi at Crystal Palace. Reportedly, Manchester United open talks with Wharton today. So let's see how that Wharton.
Adam Wharton.
Yeah, Crystal Palace midfielder.
That would be a good transfer. In fact, I think Wharton in a midfield, very physical player.
Yep.
Very physical player.
But that would affect Liverpool's Guehi's pursuit though. Cause at some point Crystal Palace have to stop sell.
It depends now.
No, because you have Eze who reportedly going to Arsenal. So at some point, them going to say, look, we can't lose all three players. We probably would give her one.
But I don't think Eze going to know Arsenal. There's no way Arsenal is going to put the money up for Eze. What's the asking price for Eze? Eze is £100 million ball liner.
Yeah.
There's no Arsenal's gonna put the money up for Izzy.
They have to replace Jesus and basically replace Kai, even though Kai is there.
Well, we can say them have to replace or whatever. $100 million? No, sir, no, man. Arsenal not sign no Izzy, man. That a dead dog, a dead talk that to me.
All right, we'll see.
I will believe it when I see it.
We'll see.
As Morgan Rogers upset, I'm upset about. Oh, the freak, the foul. So yeah, I don't see Eze going to Arsenal. And then also that does affect the depth of Arsenal. Because you add in a Eze, then you automatically can displace one of those starters and then put them on the bench. But I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening. And I mean Crystal Palace, Ismail Sarr, Eze, Mateta. In fact, you know what? Newcastle. I look at striker. And then if you go talk to Crystal Palace and try to get Mateta, put our money down. Forget this Johan Wissa sort of move. Go and get Mateta, Philip Mateta. Mateta, because he will score some goals. In fact, he probably will have scored more goals than Elanga. The couple of missed chances that Elanga missed, Mateta would have scored.
Yeah.
And you don't have to spend all the Isak money. You probably can put down a £60 million, maybe £50 million for Mateta.
Yeah. Hey, Aston Villa start the second half on the front foot. Newcastle is now pegged back.
Much, so much improved.
Yeah.
Much improved. I'm just looking forward to see the big side roll out today.
Who?
You mean 12:30 kickoff? The general in him last year potentially at Man City, probably the greatest manager we have seen this decade.
No, easily the greatest manager this year.
We want to know if the general decided to forward to reclaim the trophy that him lent to Liverpool this year.
I think he's motivated and
so if he is motivated and his group is motivated, that means the Wolves supposed to get a beat up.
Oh, they might get more yet. I think Wolves. I think they're going butter bruise Wolves.
If Wolves get 6 or 8, then the rest of the Premier League will say, well, here we go again.
I think Pep's demeanor last year as Elanga get chopped down by Camara as a yellow card for Camara. Pep's demeanor last year was one of, and we know, and we know he went through some personal issues, and I think that affected him. I think his attention to detail got affected by that personal strife that he went through, and that gave room to some of the Man City players to become indisciplined. And I think Pep's side didn't care, and then when his personal life kind of straightened out a little bit, I think towards the end, we started to see the old Pep come back. And we started to see, I saw that look in his eye. There's a look in Pep's eye. Pep is the type of coach, well, I say, I really like that team we played against. They're really good. And they have as two Newcastle players running to each other, Shaw and Byrne, two idiots. What about them? When they get the puck off of the field, damn fool. But Pep have a look in.
Just like I ask you, say, just wait for Yardman, then send one bag of machine come over your ends, but look into man eye.
Well, I tell you, Pep have that look. Pep,
look into Pep eye. I would Yardman rents rents machine a sense.
I know business what the yard man them want to do. Fisherman think about fish. Carpenter think about wood. No move and go.
I guess want to kill our first line. I'm sure. I said, look into my eyes, tell me what you see. Yeah, yeah. So, I
But
guess
Pep have that, above that, and above that nonchalant kind of, well, we'll see how the game end up. And these guys are good. And blah, 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 blah. How I knew Jack Grealish. Everybody asks about, well, Jack Grealish is our guy. I like Jack Grealish. Why you guys don't see Jack Grealish in the squad and you think that I want to give him away? I don't want to give him away. Jack Grealish is my player. And the boss, Ghana Everton. That signal to me that Pep is serious. And that signal to me that, look, if you give, and Pep got rid of some player, bring in some players, we say Kevin De Bruyne get ushered out the right way. But we see now a younger, hungrier Man City team. If they can stay focused and if they can have the mindset, because I don't think their greatest opposition is going to be their opponents. I think their greatest opposition is going to be Pep Guardiola. I think those young players have to deal with Pep more than they have to deal with the opponents. And if they are mentally strong enough to deal with Pep, to say when Pep say, pass the ball, deso. Me not say pass it there, so I don't say pass the ball, deso. If they can handle that, Man City going dangerous. Dangerous.
as Michelle said the other day, I think it was Michelle that said that Rodri is for me. It's interesting to see how they go about it because he's a big miss again at the start of the season. He was a huge miss last year. Now they've had a transfer window or two because they tried to address it in the January window with Nico Gonzalez. Now they have had summer still are going to try to address it. So they can't forward with the same. Rodri is a big miss excuse again. I mean,
Right.
this down gonna work this year. You
Right.
have to forward and play some ball. Curious to see how Ryan Cherokee, Rangers, and others go forth in this Man City kickoff. But I mean, let's see. I mean, if this is his final year, I think he has kind of hinted maybe this is his final year at Man City. I think he probably would like to go out with a bang and just win and scrape up everything. And if they want to scrape up everything, aka win every trophy, as you mentioned, it might be a good move for them to go get Lucas Paqueta. Now that the gambling situation is behind Lucas Paqueta.
Yeah. What's what
Um,
Michelle said? Michelle said that sold
2-0
Kwanzaa to
between
raise
Aston
money.
Villa and Newcastle.
Could this return out to a wrong move? Arteta is obsessed with Havertz. Nicholas Jackson is available. That's what I think. All right. Chelsea. Not to Chelsea.
Yeah, wait, what? Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah, he's available. Now,
Who?
yeah, he's available. I don't know. He's available. You make yourself available. You know that don't mean.
As a Chelsea fan said that.
Yeah, Michelle. All right. So dirty Chelsea. Let me tell you something.
Chelsea fans trying to offload the 20 goal scorer Nicholas Jackson. I don't
Listen,
think he's scored
Benton. Listen. Can you talk about
last year.
you talk about me? Know how much goal he scored last year. You talk about money and how much player worth and Ray. Did you know Chelsea approached Manchester United with 30 million for Alexandre Garnacho and turn around and is telling everybody Nicholas Jackson is worth 80 million?
Well, Nicholas Jackson did score goals last year. Scored 10 Premier League goals. Well, let's get the Nicholas Jackson start up.
Ali Watkins
Let's
should have scored that. That should have
let's get
scored Ali.
14 Premier League goals a year in 23-24 and 10 Premier League goals last year. Yeah, Nicholas.
For the record, I like Nicholas Jackson, and I told you that.
13 goals last year in our competition.
Ball.
So why is Chelsea interested in Garnacho? To provide a backup to Pedro Neto?
Oh, that's a red card. That is a red card. Come on, Fairfield. Red card to Aston Villa. Beautiful ball by Elanga.
Maybe Martinez get one last year. Yeah, I think it was it the same opponent or it was slide out? Yeah.
Was it Newcastle or was it Manu?
I think, but I recall in the preview to this game there was a similar sort of issue. I think the goalkeeper slide out their box.
It was Manu. It was Manu.
No, so I don't know if it's multiple games, but there was an issue with Aston Villa last year and Newcastle. Because I remember Rebecca Lowe and the Premier League desk talking about it this morning because they revisited something on that side regarding this particular encounter last year. Anthony Gordon pulled back by Konza. Yeah.
It's a red card.
Red card.
But kind of went down a little bit too easy.
A red card. Red card. Red card. Why are we getting into this? Went down a little easy. Red card.
Yeah. Aston Villa get caught. They got caught high.
And we need to take a picture of Unai Emery face when things. Imagine this our face after that on billboard when decisions go against.
Michelle said Chelsea can sell water to a tap. Sell high, buy low. Isn't that the basic tenet of good business? Michelle, tell me foolishness. Yo, Mister. I would have tell them, boy. I would tell them some bad what they say.
Alright, so how about this, Junior? Since you like a Nicholas Jackson and you want to offload Garnacho, what about a loan swap for each player?
I would do that.
United take Jackson on loan, cover his salary for the year. Chelsea take Garnacho on loan, cover his salary for the year.
No, if we go swap, we just swap. No.
So you're not open to that? Because the contracts are different. Nicholas Jackson is on like 10 years. How many years remaining on Garnacho contract?
I think 3 or 2. But Garnacho, you have to remember now, this is where FFP come in. Because Garnacho is homegrown. So anything you get for Garnacho is profit.
Investment.
Right.
Investment. Guys develop it.
Now with Nicholas Jackson, FFP is going to hurt Chelsea because if he has 10 years left on his contract or whatever, 7 or 6 or 7 years, the value of the contract that is left that they are giving up, that's going to count against them. And you know that's how the value system works, right? So if
it's all about are you able to transfer? This is why they're asking for £80 million for the baller, so they can offload.
No, but still though, even if they get 80 million, they can't use the 80 million because that money still count against them.
Yeah, but it's a net loss. So how much is Nicholas? Contract.
I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, you times that by 6 because of how much years left on his contract.
Okay.
So it's almost like what they're trying to ward against is you have a team, have a bag of players and put them on loan.
Yeah, which Chelsea has been doing.
And what Chelsea did was to try to get ahead of FFP by putting all these players on some long contracts. So that will make them now be attractive on loan, because if I was to take up a Nicholas Jackson on loan, that money doesn't count against my FFP valuation. What a turn by Watkins. Take shift, boy. as
So I
10
want to make sure that we on the same page, because there's FFP and PSR.
PSR,
And
PSR, PSR,
PSR is the
PSR,
Premier League sustainability. So PSR you talk, right?
PSR. Sorry, PSR, PSR, PSR. So I'm talking about the ratio, the player ratio. So there's a ratio that you need to maintain.
Yeah, I mean the sustainability rules. I'm missing with Chelsea because they put themselves in it. But I understand why they try to spread out these contracts because, of course, you pay in the length of the contract. That means that you pay less money, and you essentially on that annual basis, you have less hit on that books, right? But
Right, right.
if the player not produce,
Well, that is the other side. That's a downside to it.
and then it makes it difficult to move a player who's not producing, who's on a long contract.
Yeah, that is a downside.
Apparently, you didn't learn anything from Manchester United and Jadon Sancho.
No, that Jadon Sancho has nothing to do with that.
No, it's not. No, so here's the scenario, and it's not the same length of contract. But the analogy for me is that a player who was not producing, who was under a contract, that you can't. We know that player wasn't producing or didn't live up to these hype at Dortmund. At Manchester United gave him a very good contract, and I thought, no, is he worth that large investment?
And that is where the problem is. And I know Manu at the time they were money
Yo,
now.
big up yourself, bigger.
Yeah, I think the same thing. Like, where am get that jersey there from?
Yo, what's that? Yo, I'm a new kid. By the way, you know what? Look crazy, cause
Hey,
I'm not. Oh, countryman, what do you ask if Wayne Rooney can take care of himself better? So me I say, Bretton, Wayne Rooney is Wayne Rooney. And then me our next man says body shaming.
of course it's body shaming. I am the big.
Can work on. Big up yourself, big up. Me
Yo,
and things make it work on.
I am the fat people. Listen, I am the fat people represent. And you know what, though? Thank you, Benton. Thank you for bringing that up. I remember father was talking yesterday.
It's too early, Bretton.
No, you bring it up. I need to say this as the fat people representative of the world. Me and what's your name? Lizzo. But what we call her Izzo now because she lose the weight. So I have to take off the L off her name. Izzo, I try to look for somebody to replace her now. But we are the fat people representative of the United States of America. And
I don't think it's the world.
no, we are on the western hemisphere. The east, we don't deal with the east because the fat people up on the east, them man they different. That including the Newcastle brother. Cause them like the fat man there. Them man they come a game and take off all him shirt in a 10 degrees where they know. Me can't do that. Would I represent that, Benton?
I love it. Proud of yourself, big.
Our hemisphere don't deal with that. Our hemisphere knows if we have titty enough for sure, man.
Imagine during the NFL season that happen all the time.
No, well, you look, we treat the NFL fans like the black sheep of the family. They are a different breed. But I think CPL dash you a perfect marketing up. This look like a penalty. No.
Yeah, that man. All right, it looked like hit into his body. I mean, is it?
I look like he hit Gordon hand first though. So.
Yeah, not a penalty. Newcastle must seize this opportunity. No, I mean they added the extra man after the red card to Konza. By the way, did Unai Emery make a substitution?
No.
But did he not make a substitution?
Nope.
So then who goes into the back then? Because Konza.
I was playing a back three. Hold on, I did we miss the
back three
substitution?
then. Okay. Interesting.
Which Unai Emery favors anyway. Remember, Unai Emery was always a back three merchant, and that burned him in the first part. Yeah, they never made us up. But
Yeah, no.
what the fuck brother name for CPL Cummings?
Raheem Kano.
Cornwall. Look.
Big up yourself, Rakim. Big up yourself.
Well, no, you can't use the word big. You can't. Too much big this to the Benton. We have to cut that out.
Big up yourself.
He can't big up himself anymore, Benton.
Big up yourself.
But as the big people representative, I know, because me a big man, me is a big fat man. Me know what fatness look like. I can tell you this right now. He is not wearing size 3X jerseys.
Oh, Rakim.
Yes, that is 2X. He's wearing 2X and forcing himself into a 2X. Or probably forcing himself into a 1X because he's a cricketer. Cricketers are supposed to say 3X. They have lost a perfect marketing opportunity. You know how much jersey them will sell if them could have make a fat man like that look nice and decent in him jersey. And I'm not trying to sound billy. As again, me's a fat man, me fat. But when me go out, the girls them like me same way. You know why? Cause me present myself properly, me dress properly. Put the money in some good clothes, man.
Are you trying to get one of those jerseys? Is that what you said?
I will model it for them. If they need my DXL expertise, call me the DXL expert. I will be the DXL expert. I mean, will tell them like, look, not because you're fat, that means that you want the belly parts for bush out like it's a parachute. No man, cut the thing nice and cut it and put a little elastic and make it come around the belly and come back this and drop this and just flat and just lay down nice. They miss the opportunity because the man's shirt this tight, Benton.
We're going to make a call to CP.
Hey, the worst part too, my father called me and say, yo, the same thing when we laugh, but my father said, Junior, you see when him try to punch the ear, him hand couldn't go up. When they get the wicket.
When they get the wicket.
The man goes so, and his shirt hold him back. Hold him. Shirt said, no, you can't go up there, brother. And I think he thought about it. Because he know, if him go so, the whole of you tear out. Come on, man. Put the man in some good clothes.
Newcastle. The hidden. How would this? Murphy?
Yeah, but
Jacob Murphy that I get ready.
While Aston Villa, who is down to 10 men, makes no change and them take off Ilanga. Lord of mercy.
I come off I feel. Actually, you know what? Maybe one Jacob Murphy must have come back from injury. Because how long become start over here?
Well, Ilanga is a 55 million guy.
And again, Junior, this guy is not a $55 million player, brother.
Well, dog, nyam him super if Murphy come. Dog, nyam him super if Murphy come on and score.
No, Jacob Murphy will be a lot livelier down this right side.
I mean, I don't know about a lot, but he has an opportunity playing against 10 men to be a difference.
Like Grease Lightning, man.
You know, faster than Ilanga.
So we're approaching what, 77 minutes here?
Yeah. 12 minutes left.
Newcastle cannot make this game, cannot draw this football game. This is a golden opportunity anyhow to get the 3 points against 10 men. Aston Villa. You cannot, no man, come on, empty the kitchen sink and go at this team. Ball youth.
Tell you already, you know. This could be the beginning of the end for Eddie Howe.
Push the ball wide, no, Bridget.
Do remember, hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. We are 23 subscribers away from 500. Yo, when we hit the 500, we were supposed to play some tune yesterday, you know, but I don't know, we never want to overdo it on the live. But people, what do you think? Friday night, we run some 90s dancehall. We do like an hour 90s dancehall some Fridays. Let me know. We'll see. But tomorrow are Manchester United versus. You know what? God go forgive me, you know. When I go to church tomorrow.
Well, I have a perfect medium for you.
I
Jump up.
am going to support the Red Devils and not go to church.
I have a perfect medium for you. Just jump on the live tomorrow and have your Bible on your phone. I mean, why not? You will be reading your Bible at church anyway. Why not? Just read it on the phone.
I got bird parchment paper. As this should be a goal. If that was Isaac, that score.
Anthony God, come on, get it together, brother. Come on, get it together. Looking a little bit winded there.
And it was late on the run. I know. I was a poor pass. Another poor pass. Should have done better.
Let's see. Jacob Murphy's on. Them have Union Osula on the bench. Them have Park on the bench as a striker. I mean, come on, you probably have to roll out one of them.
Yeah. I do remember Ball Chat show returns tomorrow, our flagship show, the sports show. It's just a news report type show. The great Yard Ballers return tomorrow. We'll be on. I'm not telling the front now. We're not on for 3 hours tomorrow. Hour and 10 minutes.
Park Seon So is on the bench, a Korean striker.
Yeah,
so, and you also have Osula on the bench. I mean, if you have strikers on the bench, roll them out. You need a goal.
Yeah.
Roll out one, William Osula on the bench. I mean, come on, roll them out. Give them a chance.
Playing against 10 men.
Playing against 10 men. I mean, William Osula, 21 years old, Danish international. Come on, Eddie Hall. Go and win. Go forth and win this ball game. So Jacob Murphy is supposed to be supplying the ball pass to Anthony Gordon down the middle. And Harvey Barnes off the field. Move Anthony Gordon to the left wing and put on Osula down the middle.
I think Anthony Gordon race has run. As Burns kick McGinnis short ribs again.
And the reason why I say take off Harvey Barnes, I think this is it. I have not seen enough of Harvey Barnes on the left wing. You know, Anthony Gordon just gonna have to tough it out and give me something on the left wing. But I think it can be worse than Harvey Barnes. And speaking of which, him have a sub ready. And of course, Aston Villa has a sub ready as Milan is coming on. John McGinn's race is run, is done. The race is. So who is you now coming on for?
Joe Linton. Miley.
So Louis Miley. So weird. So I'm putting in a midfield.
Yeah. In a game that you're chasing, and your versus 10 men, 0-0, opportunity to start the season with 3 points, and you put in Eddie Howe done. I'm telling you right now, Eddie Howe is going to be on the hot seat. Yeah, after like 3 weeks. Let me look and see who them play against next. Because if Newcastle don't play against a bug side soon, and Eddie Howe keep doing this kind of foolishness, he's not gonna last. So all them dead.
Is this like why do you have strikers on the bench? And I know they're young players, but we've seen young players shine in football. And we see Chelsea, young Tariq George last year from Chelsea who came on and outshine Nicholas Jackson. Why do you have these young strikers on the bench, Eddie Howe? 2 young strikers, and you don't have the confidence to give them 10 minutes a ball game, not even 15 minutes a ball game against 10 men?
Yeah.
Come on, 5 here, brother.
Yeah, I did. And you know who they play next? Liverpool.
them should get kicked out.
I played at Newcastle. That's a
Well,
Monday. That's a Monday
don't have
game.
a striker by then because clearly they don't want to play the two strikers they have on the bench, and they don't. I mean, come on, man.
And
Come on, Brendan.
and not only that, will they be played against Alexander Isak that day, that day?
So you put on Jacob Murphy on the right wing, and you put on Louis Smiley in the midfield. So you're pretty much saying this is good enough.
Yeah, they pretty much say that he has confidence they will create a chance, which they are about to, and just give away the ball. But here's
Harvey Barnes and Anthony Gordon on that. Harvey Barnes and Anthony, come, yeah. You're playing against 10 men.
this should be it right here for Newcastle. This should be it. Put the ball in the box, the youth. Good ball. God, that's a score. I'm gonna shoot. On the backside. I see why Isaac will leave.
And somebody seems to be pulling, coming out of that with a limp, right? Is the Gordon?
God, yeah.
But
Well, I think
two strikers on the bench, sitting there, young kids, 18-year-old and 19 or 20 years old. Them man, they will run from now till next year, and you're reluctant to play them?
how old is Miley? Miley is
Come on, fight. Anthony Gordon, I joke. Anyhow, I know him a make up him face like him smell crap.
I told you.
Come on, Virgin. You know what?
I did try to warn you.
You cannot. You have a team, so you know Aston Villa might sneak this. You know?
It might sneak it. I was just about to say that because they are remaining high, and there are times where you say Newcastle almost giving up the ball.
Yo, a week.
Here it is right now. Aston Villa 3 versus 4. Out to the right. Beat it, youth! Good save.
Yo, I'm barely making them money after them taking game Milan.
Yep.
Come on, Leon. Actually, if Leon does make it to Roma, I expect him to do well. Expect him to do well.
Okay.
Slow up PS League. Running at people. I expect him to do well.
Okay.
Expect him to do well.
Okay. Ship has sailed, my friend.
Yeah, it's sealed in the Premier League, but I expect him to do well.
I expect him to just make him money and enjoy what's left of his career.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, this making money thing is all relative to productivity, you know. As maybe General said, talent is in abundance. And no man not pay no money just become one bench for them. You know, the loan deal, if it does go through to Roma, requires that him produce. And then if him don't, them send him right back to Aston Villa, then which then decide, you know, if he done or not.
Yeah. I don't think well, let's see. I don't like they're about to put on a striker though.
No, Bridget. No. What?
With 2 minutes leave.
Yo.
Watch it. I want to have it, buds.
I actually didn't even realize. I didn't remember Harvey Barnes up there. What type of instructions? What type of instructions is
I can't tell you exactly. I can't tell you exactly what he said. I can read lips enough. All right, look, lad. It's only 2 minutes leaving the game. All right. It's going to take us 30 seconds to make the substitution. When you get on, do your cross signal, do your prayer, get up to the top on the right over there. So when you get there, it's only 10 seconds leaving the game. I don't think you'll get the ball, Just make sure you stay in line with the back line, get to half line, and then come back across and then blow off the game and we'll just go in. No problem.
Yeah, and you just, Mr. Eddie Howe, you just use up 45 seconds of the 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're not going in ball games.
No. See? Go to the half line, make the run, stay in line with the defender. See there? He's following instructions. Now him game done. Well done.
0-0. So how long since Aston Villa has been playing with 10 men? What, since
30 minutes. Call it, they played the last, since 66. Call it 6 minutes stoppage time. So they're going to play a total of 30 minutes, at least. And Newcastle.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
And actually, Newcastle, ever since going down to 10 men, Aston Villa hasn't been threatened at all. As Gordon, at his first time going from the left, and look at Gordon coming off the left wing with his best passenger play. His first time coming off the left wing. Anyhow, make it look too difficult sometime. How we said...
We are keyboard coach, but watching our football to know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I said this earlier. Take off Harvey Barnes and put Anthony Gordon on the left. Put Osula or Park down the middle. And let Anthony Gordon do what he does.
Yep.
You ask Anthony Gordon who played down the middle, who now flourished down the middle. And it's against 10 men. And he will be going up against Matty Cash, one of the worst defenders in all of the Premier League.
Yep.
Come on, Eddie, yo. Get me a FIFA A license, yeah.
And big up to Max. Max just tuned in. Remember we said earlier that Max will be on tomorrow during the 5 o'clock show. So see Max and I said, awesome conversation. Big up Max Aniki, Athletic Republic. Look out for the Athletic Republic interview will be coming out this Monday at 5 p.m. That's the time I have it set. So look out for that off the field interview between Benton and Max. And if you have a young athlete in the family, you need to watch that interview. And if you're in the Atlanta area, link us. We will put you in contact with Max.
Let it go, Guimaraes. Let it go. Jacob Murphy ball. Come on. Shot youth. The ball is... All right, so my question is this. If Eddie Howe thinks that no, late in the game with 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, it's an important time to try to go win it. Why isn't 15 minutes an important time to try to go win it?
I think he coached scared. I think he has a legitimate fear of Aston Villa getting a rise from going down to 10 men and scoring and nicking a goal. Some coaches are like that. Some coaches have that fear.
All right, but even if Aston Villa score,
you should be able to score too. Yes.
You still have to score. Your bottom line, the objective of playing this game is to score.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. In the 10 o'clock hour, what is scheduled for the games? Remind the people. What time Barcelona play?
Barcelona plays at 1:30.
We know Barcelona is struggling to register players, so we need to find out if certain players will be registered by 1 o'clock.
No, he won't. Rashford won't be registered, but the other one, I think.
Listen. Barcelona's leadership is on it. All right. He might be registered by 12 o'clock. All right.
Are you done?
So Barcelona and Deco and Juan Laporta leaders, they will find a way to register Marcus Rashford by 1 o'clock.
Coming up at 10 o'clock, Brighton plays Fulham. Sunderland plays against West Ham. Spurs kicks off their season versus Burnley. And Wolves will host Man City at 12:30. That's in the English Premier League. La Liga coming up at 1:30. Mallorca hosts Barcelona. Alaves plays Levante at 3:30. Valencia plays against Real Sociedad at 3:30. All those games will be on ESPN. ESPN Deportes on ESPN Family. The German Cup is playing today as well. Bochum and Dynamo Berlin are currently tied 1-1 in extra time. Hamburg at halftime in extra time is leading FK Pirmasens 2-1. Coming up at 9:30, Heidenheim plays against Ballinger. St. Paul plays against Norderstart. And Hoffenheim plays against Hansa Rostock. FC Nuremberg plays against Illerton. RB Leipzig plays against Sandhausen. Wolfsburg plays against Hanel-Lengen. Hannover plays against Cottbus. Freiburg plays against Sportfriend. Darmstadt plays against VfB Lovbek at 12 o'clock. And then they have games tomorrow, but we'll talk about the tomorrow games later.
The EPL game in the 10 o'clock hour is the feature game is what? The Fulham Brighton game, right? So
you would have that as your feature game? I don't care. It's a final here, 0-0, as Unai Emery gives Eddie Howe a ripe smile. Wow.
Yeah.
I think. Well, yeah. Fulham Brighton, yeah.
No, I'm looking at the starting 11, and I notice Baliba is in the starting 11.
Well, they are Brighton already told Manu that he's not for sale. That's off the books. Yeah, so that's
okay.
done.
So it's okay. So there is no movement for Baliba. He's not going to move.
That's why Manchester United now pivoted for Wharton. So that's over.
Okay. And some Reggae Boys news. Here we're hearing that Reggae Boy Karim Dixon joins Crawley Town on loan.
On loan, yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully, Reggae Boy Karim Dixon will be playing some football this year in the EFL Championship. Well, no, with League 2 Crawley Town.
And he'll get an opportunity to play more and to develop.
Yeah.
Which is the priority.
And Craig Bullhead Butler regarding Leon Bailey. Of course, we discussed Leon Bailey. I mentioned that Leon Bailey. Birmingham Live says that Leon is not in the matchday squad, or wasn't in the matchday squad, because there's a discussion or ongoing negotiation about a loan move to AS Roma. Bullhead says that Mr. Butler, Craig Butler, says there are around 5 clubs who are interested in the player, but he's still a Villa player, and that is where he is focused on at this time. Roma is a beautiful club and city, so any opportunity that comes from them has to be taken seriously and considered. So basically, Kalinga and Roma there.
Yeah, later, yeah, man. I will never comment on. No.
What do you mean you never comment? It's football show. Aston Villa just player. He is a player who's on Aston Villa books. Make your comments so the people can get on with their Saturday morning, brethren. August 16th. Big up to the Aston Villa fans.
That just snuck a 0-0 game. My comment is, we've heard many stories before around Leon Bailey, and they never materialized the way how they were reported. So until I see him holding up a shirt I will say okay. One thing is for sure though, he is on the outs at Aston Villa, obviously. So I agree with that sentiment. Now, 5 teams looking at him and Ray. If you have one team looking at you and the season starts today for certain leagues, we can agree no Spanish team is looking at him because their league start today. Why would they not want to get their business done as soon or as quickly as possible? Right? So as the days go by, we're going to see the number of teams that were interested in him cut down probably from 5 to 1. Because at first, remember, we were hearing about Saudi League and blah, blah, blah. Nothing no go so. So, we'll see. Let me just put it that way. We'll see.
I mean, I guess we can do some months. I mean, at the end of the day, there were reports at Saudi League, a couple clubs in Saudi. Then Besiktas in Turkey. I know we have Roma. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Agents will probably inflate the numbers to try to lure or increase the attraction or increase the value of the club that the individual end up. But the bottom line, it seems like the big takeaway seems like Leon Bailey's tenure or time with Aston Villa for the 25-26 EPL season might be coming to a close. So wherever he lands, we tell him, big up and good luck to the baller, because we want to see him excel, we want to see him continue to flourish and grow and be a better version of himself. So we're going, wish him all the best.
Michelle says, yeah, go ahead.
That to me is the bottom line. I mean, could a Premier League team use him? Okay, but Aston Villa probably not going to send him to another Premier League team.
If they come with the right money, yes.
But who me say Aston Sunderland a buy? Sunderland a buy one Ipa big up, one Ipa all ballers. So I mean, but maybe Bullet don't even want those sort of movements. Because didn't Sunderland transfer quite a few of those experienced Premier League players? You know? You were saying something about Michelle.
Michelle said that Newcastle look good. Couldn't beat 10-man Villa. Isaac is too good for this. I agree. And I said it before, as we were about to sign off. I said it before. I'll say it again. We are witnessing the start of the end of Eddie Howe tenure at Newcastle. I called it before the game start, and I feel stronger right now. There's too much money involved for Newcastle to be this mediocre. Too much. And
I don't think he leaves. They would have to have a very bad season for him to leave.
But what's a bad season?
All right, what's a bad season? They finish outside of the top 10. I think this Newcastle team is looking at probably about the brass probably look at 6 or 7. If they finish out of the top 10, then yes, that's a bad season. And
if they finish outside of Europe, it's a bad season.
Eddie Howe is the only stability at this club in the leadership structure. No director of football, nothing now going on regarding the movements of player. Clearly, nobody now want to come there because you don't have anyone in the director role to kind of pitch the project carefully to them. Coach is not supposed to in our business a pitch project. That's a director of football role.
What?
Coaches should not be in the business of pitching projects.
It is the coaches
supposed to be drafting plans to win football games. Director of football supposed to be in the business of pitching projects because
that is the project.
Coaches come and coaches go.
No. That is the project. Players don't go to a team because of the team name. Players go to a team because of the coach.
No, I mean, all right. There are certain coaches that can attract players for convincing them to go over the deal. Yeah. You hear players say all the time, yeah, somebody called me and they make the deal, and we make the deal. But when I'm thinking about a football club, you have a director of football who reached out to an agent and said, yo, Junior, This is our long-term goal. This is what we're doing. These are the players that we're bringing. Convince your agent. Convince your player that this is the project that we're looking. We're looking to invest $50 million here. We're looking to do this. This is how much you're going to get compensated. There is no guarantee that that coach that you decide to join that football club with will be there 6 months from now.
If it,
Gyökeres joins Arsenal, there's no guarantee that Mikel Arteta is going to be there next year.
whoa. But Gyökeres joined Arsenal because of what Mikel Arteta is doing at Arsenal. Nobody joined Newcastle because there's no guarantee that Eddie Howe will be there 6 months from now.
Fair enough.
So the coach and the project has to be the main attract. Look, I am offering you this money. That's all the director of. To be honest, there's shared responsibility, but
yeah, there's a shared role.
there's a shared. So I'm not. Hopefully, I don't give the impression like I think it's a split. It's not a split. However, in my opinion, if I am a player, the financial side, yes, I need the financial security. But the most important part is how would I be deployed in this team? What is the plan for me on the field? I am not signing this contract and coming here and sit on the bench. I'm not doing that. So this is what I am agreeing to. And the coach has to present that. And I'm telling you, that is what hurt Newcastle. If you are, if you are a striker and you watch a game today and Newcastle come calling, hey, we need you. I'm hanging up the phone. Like, don't call my phone. Get off my phone. You cannot, you don't have a team that can score against a 10-man Aston Villa. Well, that's the reason why some people might come, well, that's the reason why we're transferring you in. No. I am looking and seeing myself on that field, struggling just like those players. No, come better than that.
But this is, I think, the reason why Newcastle is struggling in the transfer market is because it's a hard sell. Granted, yeah, the Midlands or wherever. It's not a club relative to some of these big names, places that people want to go with Lure and Easter or whatever. I think you cannot enter a transfer window without a director. Because, all right, players, coaches have systems. Director of football says, okay, this is a system that we have in place. How you fit in the system is more the conversation to the player. The coach gives the director of football a list of players and says, okay, I want Leon Bailey, I want Junior Pringle, I want Isaac, because this is how I want them to play. It's the director of football job now to go out and say, all right, Junior Pringle, you is our primary target. This is are the things that we're going to offer you. This is how you're going to be utilized and make this deal. And I think there's a very, very...
But you just don't...
a complementary relationship between the coach and director of football. Right. And I think that Newcastle, without having that director of football role, someone in that role in the transfer window really, really hurt them.
But that you're just talking about being savvy, but you are still being a mouthpiece for the coach. So look, Benjamin Sesko is exhibit A for why Eddie Howe is struggling at Newcastle. Is exhibit A. You look, Newcastle offering Champions League. They're offering money because they're backed by oil money. They have a very good stadium, a very good facility. They have a strong history. Of course, they're not Manchester United or Chelsea, but Newcastle is one of those very close to top. Newcastle is a top tier English Premier League brand. They might not be the best right now, but they are a top brand. And all Eddie Howe has to do is present, or all Newcastle has to do is present a project that the player can believe in. Versus Manchester United, which is just as a legacy as a name as Newcastle, cannot offer Champions League this year, cannot guarantee Champions League next year, cannot guarantee that you're going to be playing high quality football, but they have a coach that can come in and probably, and you said director of football, they have a system in place where they can come and present their project to Benjamin Sesko and his brass, and Sesko bought that. When Newcastle should have been miles ahead in that conversation. They offering the same money and more. They offering better football, more competitive football in a World Cup year, and they couldn't get the deal, they couldn't seal the deal. It's easy to blame not having a director of football, but I'm telling you, they don't believe in the coach. It's a coach. They do not believe in the coach.
Fair enough, but I guess it's how we're looking at it. You know, it's easy to say that it's not the director of football, but and I think that one thing that stood out to me with those two teams that you highlighted, one team has a director of football and the other team don't. You have Amar Barreda over there at Manchester United working lockstep and barrel with Ruben Amorim desires, you know, and over Newcastle, you don't have nobody.
Well, Benton, you don't need a director of football to compete with Manchester United in a negotiation for a player.
Apparently you do, because
they continue to fail.
Manchester United, they failed in all their targets.
Yeah, because they don't have a good system.
And also they end up overpaying for Elanga.
Yes, because Ilanga is saying, yo, I am leaving Nottingham Forest, which is not better than Newcastle. Newcastle is a better situation than Nottingham Forest, right? But I don't know what I'm walking into, clearly. Because I'm telling you this right now, if that was Nottingham Forest playing against Aston Villa down to 10 men, Nuno is going to find a way to score. They are not leaving this game with only 1 point. I think Nuno is a better coach than Eddie Howe.
Newcastle fans, listen. There's a lady that used to run football over Chelsea, Mariana. I think Garineski. I think that's her last name. She was a director of football. Go get her. Go get that woman and put her in place. There's also the other brother who used to be. You can't have this position void for much longer or empty for much longer, because you need this Isaac deal closed one way or the other, and you need to bring in some players one way or the other. This is rubbish.
I agree.
Rubbish, Wago. Because you lose players. Junior emphasizes you lose players to Man United. Come on. I think Sesko probably say, yo, hey, they might not play Champions League this year, but looking at the coin toss, looking at the other side of things, this year side they might be playing Champions League or Europe, whereas this year side they might be done a goal 2-3 years from now.
Alright, so yo, I ain't that to know. Road, I do it right now. People, enjoy the rest of the football Saturday. We'll be back on tomorrow for the Manchester. Michelle said Mariana is the GOAT. So we'll be on tomorrow at 11. Look, we're watching the Arsenal Manchester United game tomorrow.
I will be on because I thought you're going to church.
I should be going to church.
Pasta.
Hey, all I'm saying is, don't make Man U win tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. Don't make Man U win tomorrow.
and you know what? I will say this: if there's any way that Manchester United win tomorrow, Mikel Arteta, Arsenal fan, you know what? Arsenal fans should go ahead and just decide it. Just decide from today that if Man United wins the football game tomorrow, Just go ahead and just pack up Mikel Arteta things and drive him out of town. You cannot lose after what happened yesterday. How Liverpool found a way to win a ball game, and we'll see what happened with Man City tomorrow. I mean, you can't make Bugside beat you, brother. We will see what happened with Man City later. We cannot make You've gone out and you've signed Gyökeres. Man United now no midfield. They're good going forward. Them now no midfield, and them still have Onana in a goal. And Frigid, aka Harry Maguire around about. Come on.
All right, we will see what happens tomorrow. People, do remember to hit the like and subscribe button. Tomorrow, 11:30, will be on for the Manchester United versus Arsenal watch along. No, we're not showing the game. We're sitting down. We're doing our own commentary, our own conversation. Watch the game with us. You can just listen to us, watch the TV, whatever, however you prefer. Or if not, just wait until 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock tomorrow, we'll be doing our flagship show, Ball Chat Live. Remember, get your ballers and bugs ready. It's obvious Eddie Howe is already a bug of the week. We already know Eddie Howe, bug of the week. We already know that. Semenyo, ball of the week. We already know that, right? So, we're starting it. Huh?
By the way, watch out for Mitoma. Mitoma need to do nasty up some fussy in a 10 o'clock game. Sorry. I put that money on it.
Michelle is saying draw, hopefully. Draw likely. I'm going to just put it that way. It's going to be, I think, I'm going to predict tomorrow game from now. I'm predicting it's going to be a draw. I'm predicting Manchester United is going to score early. And I am predicting that Arsenal is going to score off a set piece late and tie the game. And we're going to leave honors even. That's my prediction. And remember this. Remember last year, the first couple of games Ruben played, Manchester United scored in the first 3 minutes or so. The first 3 or 4 games under Ruben until the bottom fell out. Pause. Watch out for that tomorrow. Watch the first 5 minutes of the game.
So the same bottom no fell out going into this season.
Watch out.
People him out. The bottom no fell out again.
It's all right. Watch it. People.
By the way, any update on injury report? Who's available and who's not available?
Everybody available for Man U.
All right, but what about Arsenal?
Arsenal loaded. No, will Zubimendi play?
Everybody's available. Okay.
Will Zubimendi play?
I mean, so what? He's not available? What do you mean?
We don't know yet. We'll have to wait until an hour before the game. But
what's the concern about Zubimendi?
I think he started the year with a knock. I think he had a knock in the preseason.
So yeah, did Mikel Arteta have a press conference yesterday and update the people? Then what's that?
Mikel Arteta is talking about changing the overhead walk-in for players at Emirates. They don't really care about injuries. We know Kai is still hurt.
Yeah. He says fitness update on Trossard, Gyökeres, and Zubimendi. This is according to Arsenal.com. Let me see. It says on Zubi, he says he's had a great integration, as everybody can see. This immediately a very big impact on the team. I'm really happy, and he will be fit. He will be fit, says Mikel Arteta, according to Arsenal.com, August 15. So he will be fit. Regarding Gyökeres, he says Victor getting better and better every day. He's normally a really fit player. It's true that he hasn't trained much with us. He had those 2 moments in games and he's participating and feeling was very good. So let's see what we do on Sunday. No, let's see what we do on Sunday, brother. Gyökeres needs to start and Zubimendi start. These are your big transfers. You're playing a duppy bot, aka Bugside. You need to beat them. Manchester United. Arsenal needs to win that football game tomorrow. I did pick them to win the Premier League. Do not start. But we already regret the pick.
All right, people, like that, do remember hit the like and subscribe button. Ball Chat everywhere. If you look up BCN Sports, we're also located on Instagram as BCN Sports. All about. If you look at BCN Sports, you're going to see our logo. Search Ball Chat, you see our logo. Do remember, hit the like, subscribe. You can email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. You can email us at ballchatnetwork@gmail.com. You can also email us at BCNL. What is it? BCN LLC?
Yeah, BCNLLC at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. What if I email we have right now? So we are just figuring it out. Tomorrow again, people, 11:30, 5 p.m. Come on, we'll be there about. Max will be on tomorrow as well at 5 o'clock. You don't know. We'll do our recap for the English Premier or for the England and La Liga week. So, little more.
That's up.